Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the other pronouns and the well-versed people out there. This is Aditya.
This is Shulagna.
This is Anubhav.
And welcome to yet another episode of our podcast called Casual Minds, where we rant, we bullshit, we frustrate, we discuss. I don't know, sometimes we even drip, like today. All of us are dripping, isn't it? It's actually cool, right?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, all right, back to the main podcast. That's not our podcast, by the way. But yeah, so guys, what's been cooking?
Sorry.
What's that?
So,
Is it that
there's this
song again?
Yes.
Oh my god.
So
What is
there's
that
this
song?
huge craze
Right.
about this movie called Sayara, and it's
you're right.
everywhere on social media.
Right,
Have you guys
right.
watched it?
I haven't watched it. Well, yeah,
Have
I've
you
heard
watched
about
it?
No,
that.
I haven't watched it.
Right,
I
right.
don't think anytime soon.
All right. Having said that, so definitely you guys need to watch it. Eh? I mean, and have you seen this? Noticed it? Been around, right? Metro, and then Sayara.
So we have recently watched Metro in
Oh.
Yes, and we could relate
Okay.
relate really closely
Yeah.
to that movie because it focuses on pain points of a
Right.
relationship and
Okay.
how you develop a relationship over the time, how it fades out.
All right.
So it's okay. So this is not a
No,
movie
but
review,
this
but
is-
just giving my
Yeah,
opinion.
but that is
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely goes with the topic of our discussion today. Absolutely, bang on with that. So basically, we are talking today on the role of pain and the love in our relationships. All right, so that's the topic. Yeah. All right, guys. So what's your thoughts, Lagna?
So, yes, if you ask me personally, pain plays a very important role, in relationships because that's when you're the most vulnerable, and
Oh, very true.
when you hit that rock bottom, you understand that whether you're actually in love with the person or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because that rock bottom actually makes you realize that this person or maybe your scenario is above love or beyond love.
Right.
So understanding hitting that rock bottom and getting into that concept of pain is very important in a relationship. I feel that's my personal opinion.
Makes sense. Yeah. What about you? What do you think, bro?
I think, like pain is maybe probably just the other side of the coin when it comes to love. But I like to see it in this way that not to think much about that because it will come naturally. Yeah, you will feel certain amount of pain in any kind of love, be it romantic love or any other kind of love. But I feel that it's more about how we perceive it, right? When it's like when you are going through that pain, probably over the years I have understood to balance it in a way where it's where you become less of like a transactional thing that probably like you are feeling something that you are not satisfied with. Instead of like focusing on that too much, let's focus on like giving. So to me, I have understood that what makes me more content and self-fulfilled, maybe it's love is all about giving a little bit more. But yeah, it cannot be that ideal and perfect. It might sound bookish, but yeah, but when you feel the pain, I feel like do not over focus on it that much and instead like to try to like convert it towards much more giving attitude, like rather than thinking that someone is doing this for you and you need to do that for him or her as well. So instead of just go with the flow. But yeah, definitely you will feel pain and that's important.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, if there is pain and there is love, probably, I mean, I have to know that there is love if there is no pain. I mean, that's how I look at it.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, so, but then does it become invariably important? So, are we saying that, yeah, inevitably, I mean, if you are in a relationship, there will be love and there will be pain as well.
So it's not like you have to keep crying all the time if you're in a relationship.
Right. But then,
But-
at the end of the day, it means that if you be in a relationship now. Okay, now then this comes as well. So we are talking about any sort of relationship, right? It's not just the life partner, soulmates. It's also about father, mother. I mean, the relationship with parents,
It could
brothers,
be
siblings,
between-
friends, everything.
Right.
So every relationship, in a way, would have their own. We call that, quota. Maybe that's the word. Quota of pain and quota of love, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess.
So there are friends whom you actually, you have been with them for 17, 15 years of your life, and they end up doing something which is not that great to have in your life. Like they
Well,
act toxic.
even 15 years, being friends with 15 years with someone,
Yes,
still there is a little bit of misunderstanding
they
possible.
end up, discussing about you behind your back. So that's,
Really, that happens.
yeah, that has happened to me a lot. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I think I've been hurt in friendships more than, guys or in love.
Right.
So for me, even being hurt by a friend or maybe a family member, that matters. I think that is also a kind of pain that you feel in love, because love is not just about loving your boyfriend or your partner. It is also about loving your family members, your friends.
True.
And to me, I have been more attached to my friends that my family, because I have always lived away from the family. I've lived like 10 years of my life away from home.
Right.
So my friends have been my second family. But every time, you invest so much emotions on a
Right.
friendship, and then when they hit you back with your deepest and darkest vulnerability, that hurts.
So are you saying that when you have a friendship or a relationship with a friend, I mean, the expectations are more than when there's with other than a friend, like a partner or something like that kind? Because if it hurts more, doesn't, because it can actually, sometimes we do expect different things from different kind of relationship, right? So maybe when a friend does it, I mean, that's a different kind of a hurt, and when a partner does it, it's a different kind of hurt. So again, it's all.
And when the friendship is, almost 10, 15 years of friendship, that's when that's when it feels really vulnerable, that a person can hurt you
Yeah, totally.
after such a long relationship.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I think today's today's world, like our lives are anyways a lot fast paced, right?
Right.
So probably when you stay away from your family,
Right.
at the end of the day, no matter if you are an introvert or an extrovert, the way human beings are hardwired is probably to be social, right?
Right.
Even an introvert needs certain kind of socialization in their own way, right? So
I'm sure.
we cannot, most of us cannot live in isolation, like complete isolation, like that's one.
Yeah, always until you're a heretic or you're a monk.
Yeah,
Even
that's
probably even the monks don't live by themselves. I mean, you
They
can.
have their community people around
they
them.
have their community. Well, when they might go
Yes, definitely.
go about certain time frame or periods where they're absolutely alone, but then they also comes back
Possibly.
to their community.
Yeah.
So most of them, maybe I don't know much.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
monks.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
But possibly.
but yeah, but if
Also, they have reached the level of spirituality where they are more into, we admire the beauty of nature, we like the animals around us. So they have reached that level of spirituality. We are not yet there. We are living in a real world where we are working. We are working for food. We are working for
Materialism,
lifestyle.
yeah.
Yes, so it is very difficult not to be in a social circle.
But then, are we even including in the so-called this concept of relationship? Again, I don't know why inverted commas, but nevertheless, this relationship, we are not including the animals, right? I mean, it's only the human part that we are including in this discussion, right?
Yeah,
But are we considering that even with love with animals and whatnot, there is a lot of pain involved?
yeah, I will tell you something funny, right? So that also differs from individual to individual. But human beings in general have a tendency to humanify or personify even animals.
Right, in a way,
Personification
yeah.
of
That's why they
animals.
give they
Like, for
have
example-
names.
like,
But
names,
they have
like, for
names.
example, let's say we have 2 cats, right? So even every animal, their personality is not same. Just because
I'm sure.
I would
know
it's cats doesn't mean both the cats will behave exactly in the same
course
way,
not.
right?
Yeah.
So, but then what happens, like I've seen my grandmother getting angry on the cats as well sometimes, after personification of the cat.
Right.
So a cat is a being which is having, I don't know how much, like as compared to a human being, it's having not even like 1/3 of the amount of neurons that we have, right?
I mean, yeah,
But
that's all important as well.
yeah,
and
that's
I'm
what
sure
important,
they can
but
feel
then,
something. Yeah.
then when a human being is in a relationship with the cat,
Right.
there is automatically a general tendency to, personify the cat as well. Like, you are not doing this to me and I'm feeling hurt. But yeah, since after that, the human being knows that it's a cat, to self-console, it's much more easier.
Right.
But when it comes to another human being,
Right.
the expectation is obviously much more, and then it probably hurts a lot more.
And truly coming from a pet parent, right? He's a father after all. But no, having said that, yeah, I mean, absolutely, all valid points there. But there is another aspect which always intrigued me, and which personally, to me, it actually does affect. For example, like what I've realized is when you go through that heartbreak, when a relationship does not work, when there is a breakup, at that point of time, I feel, at least personally, it has happened, that suddenly there is a surge of creativity in you, right? I mean, it just happens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same with you guys as well. Or what do you
Absolutely.
think, yeah?
Yeah, so I would like to share something.
Right.
So few years back, I was in a relationship where I was almost about to get married to that person, and it didn't work out for
Right.
certain reasons.
Right.
And I have a lot of respect for that person.
Right.
But certain times things, mentalities doesn't
course, of
match, or things that
It
don't
is
work
what
out.
it is, right?
Yes. So what happened was that I was so hurt that I left the city. I left my job. I came back home. I came back to Kolkata, and then I started living alone. So all this while I was in Bangalore with my friends.
Right.
So it was easier to overcome, because you're going for parties,
Right.
you're having a night out, you're
Right.
drinking, and then you forget that you have
Yeah,
a normal life.
yeah.
You're going to work, you're coming back, you're partying, and that's
It
it.
helps, yeah.
So your life is all about excitement.
Mhm.
But when you are alone, you actually realize a lot of things that there's thinking, there's a thought process that comes in picture. So what happened was, when I was a child, I used to read a lot of books,
Right.
and those habits were gone gradually growing up, adulting.
Right.
I stopped reading books. I stopped practicing dance. I used to be a dancer.
Right.
So once this breakup happened and I moved to Kolkata, I started, practicing dance. I was more into, upscaling myself.
Right.
I was practicing my hobbies.
Okay.
I used to like craft, art and craft. I started painting. I started working on,
Yeah.
recycling
Yeah.
those cardboards and painting, creating
Nice.
a house out of it. So I used to make something or the other and post it on Instagram. My friends used to be like, "Oh, nice, you're on that breakup zone
Right,
where all the
right.
creativity is coming out." And then I used to write, and
So it helped.
yeah, it actually helped. And at the same time, besides becoming creative, you also become really health conscious.
Right.
Yeah, so you are more into
that happens.
I need to
You might be
lose
right.
weight. I need to be
Yeah,
motivated.
it's possible, yeah. Because
I
you want to
know.
be back on the field.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's
Suddenly-
like after a storm, right?
Yes, suddenly,
Like regather yourself in a better way.
and
Oh,
suddenly
yeah.
you start looking better, or your skin starts
feelings and all.
glowing.
Right. Yeah.
And there is a lot of difference,
Oh, yeah.
between loneliness and solitude.
Right.
Eventually, I realized that I was in solitude, not in
Right.
loneliness.
After the breakup?
After the
that's
breakup,
better.
when I moved
Right.
to Kolkata and I was alone. Initially, it was hurting, but when I started practicing all my
Yeah.
hobbies, I started living with it. So I started feeling better about myself.
So it gets, you're saying so that
Yes.
creative urges come out.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Did you have anything of that personal kind? How
I
many?
think this is his first relationship. I don't think he's.
It's like TMI podcast. But yeah, I definitely had my share of heartbreaks. Also, like, this is my first relationship. Anyway.
What do you mean? What do you mean? But yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
But now, having said that, so yeah, do you also think that it it does? Like heartbreak helps in creative surges, or does it make someone so depressed and sad that they just don't want to get out of the bed?
Yeah, I think it all depends upon like what is your personality, like what kind of personality that you fit into, and how you look at a breakup, and what is your defense mechanism and coping mechanism, right? So, for example, these things that you guys are talking about, like, after a breakup or a heartbreak, people tend to become more creative and focused.
I don't know. We are not saying that.
Yeah, maybe
What we are saying that it was her experience that she became more creative,
Maybe-
and maybe even I felt that at a certain point
so
there
a lot of
is.
people
Either
might
there has
feel
to-
in that way, right? So I feel like,
Did you ever though? I mean, with whatever heartbreaks that you had,
yeah, even I feel so. I feel so.
and if I have to get back onto the fact that say if you have a relationship with your cat, right? You're a pet father now, and you have been that for a very long time now, right? Almost what 3-4 years, right? So now there's definitely a bond. Right, there's a different bond. I mean, it's a different bond from a love, what do you call that? Boyfriend, girlfriend kind of thingy. But definitely, it's a bond, right? If there be anything, if you're sad or something with your, pet, with your child, right? Does it does affect you? But
Yeah,
then
it
does it affect you like creatively?
no,
Oh yeah, no.
but in,
But then it's not a breakup, so yeah.
So I think when it comes to romantic kind of love, it's a bit
It's a bit different.
It's a bit different, and what I feel why it is a bit different because once you go through a heartbreak, even
A trauma.
a trauma, even if you like after the heartbreak, let's say if you rationalize the other human being, right? Like this is his or her point of view, and due to certain reasons it didn't work out. But at the end of the day, that hits your ego. And how you manage that ego probably also is a driving factor. Is like maybe okay, so now that person is no longer in my life. Let me make my life more better in a way, maybe subconscious,
Like a revenge.
No, not a revenge.
I mean, self-revenge. I mean, okay, I'm gonna show that I'm
yeah,
better than I was
that
before.
also I think subconsciously is a driving
And that
factor.
can drive you to become more creative.
In the beginning, maybe that's a driving factor, but once you are like doing it, like being consistent, then it doesn't matter anymore, and then
That can be like an impetus, like a motivation. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? So
yeah.
breakup is a motivation.
So initially, you feel that I show this person that I can become a better
Right.
person, this that, but gradually, when you're in the process, you actually forget about that person. It's not anymore about showing that, oh no, I am losing weight for you. No, it becomes your own journey.
Right.
It is more about you making yourself
right, yeah. So it
feel
makes
better.
you, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Initially, maybe that's the trigger point, but gradually it becomes your own journey.
Yeah, maybe that's possible. And then finally, it means then that at the end of the day, heartbreaks are good for you, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
because
yeah.
eventually you will then start bettering yourself. You will eventually
not all
the
Yeah,
pain
yeah.
that you go through, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's hardcore. I mean, you don't want to go through that again. I mean, it's like as if you're like in ICU. You don't want to be in there for whatever smaller or longer period of time that you may be in that. Coma kind of a state before you
Right.
actually come out of it and start working on itself,
Right,
creative
right.
surgery.
and even if we shift apart from romantic kind of love,
Yeah.
like you guys were talking about friends, right?
Right.
So I don't know, like I may be wrong. What I have realized is that nowadays, like anyway, we are always hitting ourselves with too much of dopamine hits, right? With our phones and everything. So the idea of socialization has also changed over the year. Like, for example, we are partying or, getting together, doing some fun activity.
Right.
So it's a lot of energetic field going around at that time. But with friends, I mean, at times what we fail to recognize maybe is that if it's like a true friend, you need to go through that cycle when your dopamine is not hitting that high, right? When life is boring. At that time also, if you enjoy the company of each
that
other,
person,
or
yeah,
that person,
or the friend,
that
yeah.
means it's probably much of a true friendship maybe, because otherwise all the time we are anyway hitting ourselves with too much dopamine, and sometimes we maybe maybe we mix up company of
Yeah.
another human beings with friendship, because at that real time you are no longer thinking that, you're just enjoying the moment, right? But when you are like going through a low phase where you are just a boring being, right? At that point of time, if someone is taking around you without any kind of those chemical searches, then probably that is much more of a real bond and a connection.
Maybe, but then this got me thinking something else. So that means, or can it also mean that being in a relationship probably is also healing? it can heal us
Absolutely.
in certain way or the other from
Absolutely.
whatever we are like. So it can be a process by which it can alleviate probably
Yeah.
our so-called loneliness that you were talking about the
Right,
other day.
right.
And probably from what I could gather from what he was saying, Bonnie was saying, right, if I'm getting it right, that probably when you are with your friends, when, you know, those dopamine hits are no more there, those chemical surges are no more there, then that stability that gives you, it's kind of a healing as well for you. Right? Do you reckon that is also the case?
Yeah, and that's why even with true friends or a partner, I feel like you should be able to enjoy both the dopamine hits and the baseline and the lows. If in those periods, even if you want to stick with each other,
Yes.
then it's probably
I mean, yeah.
that is much more unshakable.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of this, so I mean, that can be a point. Yeah, definitely. But then it does affect. So does that also mean that if we are surrounded by people, so when we say relationship, right? We are not just talking about one relationship. It's
Right.
not a single person relationship. We're talking about relationship with friends. So does that also mean that if we are surrounded people, or maybe it does mean that if we are surrounded by people,
Right.
it affects us in a better way than when we are by ourselves?
No, see, you shouldn't be dependent on your friends or relationships for your healing, because
But for your partner, you want to be dependent.
no, not even for your partner.
Okay.
You should never be dependent on anybody
Anyone.
for your healing. You should self
For healing, right,
But
right,
if
right.
your partner is helping you in the process, that is
Yeah.
an additional help,
Yes.
and that is actually considered very lucky. Like, my partner has helped me a lot for me to be a better person.
Is that right?
And like, I have issues, I have anger issues which has come in control. I have a lot of restlessness which is in control now, and that is all because of my partner. But again, your partner can only help you till a point where you want to help yourself.
Right, of course.
If you personally don't want to help yourself, nobody can ever make you change,
Right.
right?
Same with.
I think
and that's all right. Now, since you guys have, and then there was a certain awkward silence. Now, at this point in this thing, like, does crying help when in a healing process or when getting out of your heartbreaks or whatnot? Does crying help?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
So you cry as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
In
But
front
it's
of
not
everybody?
like I planned that, okay, now I will
No, but in
cry.
front of everybody. But
I try not to, but there
Are you scared of what others may think?
Yeah.
Man, crying! Oh my God!
not like man crying, but in general, as a human being, I don't want to cry when everyone is watching, right?
What about you?
I cry all the time.
But
Yeah, it helps, right?
See, I cry in front of
Self-pity?
anybody and everybody, which is again a minus because people judge. I
Judge,
honestly
yeah.
don't care at that point of time when you're vulnerable. If I cry, then it just goes out. And then you take a cold shower, you feel better. It's like everything is out of your system.
Yeah, maybe
I
it's
try a lot.
therapeutic. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
those who can actually give it out, maybe that way.
But
Yeah,
I try not to cry at every instance, but there has been certain instances.
Yeah, where you can't just stop.
You know,
It
where
just
you can't
flows.
just stop
Yeah.
and it started flowing, right? But yeah, definitely consciously, I wouldn't like that to happen before everyone. But yeah, if it's like absolutely irresistible or you're not able to control, then once it's there, you don't need to be like extremely overthinking.
yeah.
It happened.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think that even by that aspect, if you got healed in a relationship, then I would like to believe that that sense of loneliness is also not there. Then it means by if I extrapolate that same thought process, it means then if I heal, then I do not necessarily will feel lonely in a relationship. So relationships also helps in taking away that loneliness.
Yes.
But sometimes it's possible that you are in a relationship and yet you're lonely. It's quite
Yeah,
possible.
and
You can't say that.
See, I feel like that loneliness completely never goes away. Whether
Irrespective of whether you're in true love or
and
not true love.
that's not even a bad thing, because since it's almost like a constant.
I don't know whether it's bad or not. I mean,
Yeah.
good or bad, you can't say. Come on. It may not be.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, loneliness may be good. But
No, what I was trying to say, like even if it's there, let's say assuming that it's a constant,
Right.
so that is at the end of the day, to me, I look at in a way that is like a driving factor for me to be in a constant relationship with
just like a motivational
with
factor.
the person,
So then it
right?
becomes fear.
No, it's not exactly fear.
Okay.
But it's
If
like
it helps, yeah. Fine.
it's like that drive, right, which wants you to socialize with other in the first
Yeah.
place. So if it completely goes out, then you become probably a monk, maybe, I don't know.
So again, we are again confusing with loneliness and solitude. So when you're sitting alone and nobody's around you, you have a book or you have your phone or you're just sitting idle without a book or a phone,
Right.
just looking at the view. That can also be referred to as loneliness, but it's actually not loneliness.
Right.
You are sitting at your couch or maybe thinking about certain
Right.
things,
Yeah,
and
then
that
you
is
are enjoying your own company.
yes, you're enjoying, and that is where you are actually healing.
But for how long can we do that?
Yeah, true. Because
But then
You should be sitting
and that's
with
a
your
different topic for discussion.
no, but you should be sitting with yourself and
should be.
yes, everybody should sit with themselves and kind of
I would like
think.
to add something.
Yes.
Like when you are in a relationship, even if it's like a serious friendship, right? So
What is a serious friendship?
like almost like for example, I have one of my friends, we are like brothers, right? So when you have that kind of love in a relationship,
Bro love.
yeah,
Brotherly
bro
love.
love,
Bro
anything,
love.
right?
You guys hug,
No.
cry on each other, and look at
We
each
have
other.
cried
cry.
for each other. There has been moments, but yeah.
Just stare at each other. Having deep into his eyes, he into his
No,
eyes,
but what I-
hold hand in hand.
No, what I
Or
was
they just prioritize each other more than their partner. It's like,
So that is something like, so do they hold their hand like, oh my god, I missed you, bro? Yeah.
so
Probably he does not do that to
so
you.
when
He does it
it's-
to Pamela.
so we're talking about hurt in a relationship, right? So
Right.
when this friend of his, Rubel, was getting married to
Right.
one of my friend where we met.
Right.
So while they were getting married, he was almost about to cry because his friend is kind of getting in a permanent trap where the share of importance will be divided and gone.
That's making it.
Oh my
Because-
god.
because
It's
even
like
he
serious.
got-
Now
he
I
got-
understand when he says serious.
Serious love.
Oh shit. This is a
Because
new
he got
type of
married.
serious bro love.
No, he's
And
not
so
married to a
whenever
person who's
me
my
or
friend as well,
Ankuna,
right?
we ask these questions to him and
Yeah,
Rubel that
yeah.
who's more important, me or him. So they just kind of twist the question and they are like, these are the questions that we don't answer.
Oh shit. Maybe for
These questions don't make sense.
We are
so maybe for
diverting.
them, that is the healing process. Okay.
What I was trying to say,
Right.
like you feel more responsible.
Right.
Yeah, you feel more responsible in the sense, for example, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I know the things about myself where I want to improve, right?
Right.
So when you are in any kind of serious relationship, when you are like completely alone, there's nobody witnessing your life or watching it.
Right.
You are like, you don't have that accountability. But when you are in a serious relationship,
Yeah,
or any
probably,
kind
yeah.
of bond,
You're gonna
so
be,
you
yeah,
want
respectful
to
for
make each
others,
other better. So that's a huge motivational and driving factor.
Especially for you, from what I hear now, is definitely a big motivational
Yeah.
factor. Your pro love. So yeah, I mean, keep it on.
Bro love or
Jokes apart. Yeah.
yeah. So
But yeah, if it helps, I guess nothing more important than that. I mean, any sort of relationship, whether it be with my parents, whether it be with my pet, whether it be with my partner, my
Yeah.
brother, my sister, whoever, whether my friend, if it helps in any way, whether
Right.
to help in healing us, making us more creative, I don't see anything else.
And it is very important, to have good people around you. People who will actually show you the mirror. Even if you're wrong, they are, gonna tell you that you're wrong, but they're also gonna support you to,
Probably.
grow from that. So it is really important to have a good company. That also helps in the healing process.
Do that. All right, guys. Almost. I mean, today was a good discussion that we had, but time flies, right? And we have to stop right now. And I'm sure next week we would be back with another topic as well. Till then, anything else, guys, you want to add in?
No,
Nothing else? Yeah? All good?
I hope
All right.
you watch us.
Bro love and partner love too.
Oh, man. Cheers, guys. Bye.